Hey, Uncle Orley here. How's everybody doing out there? Pretty nice surroundings, huh? I'm here at Valley of the Gods. Been here a few nights and hardly anybody around, and more camping spots than you can shake a stick at. I imagine it gets pretty crowded here in the summertime. Anyway, this is going to be the third in the series for grief, and I'm taking a specialized focus on what seems to be a set of circumstances that befalls many of us that suffer a significant emotional event and then make a big change in life. Let me just stop right here. I make all this shit up, okay? I'm not reading from a script. I'm not doing research for expert opinions. This is me talking about what I think and what I feel. So take it for what it's worth. Again, I'm not an expert. I got 18 months into being on the road, living a nomad lifestyle. I'm coming up on 2 years from my significant emotional event, which was losing Kathy. I didn't really lose her. She's still here, and she's with me all the time, and you all know that, and she's helping from the other side. So the core of the topic is not keeping your shit together right away. It's just that simple, okay? I think for me, the loss was expected. If you know the story, you know it. If you don't, you'll find it somewhere else. But the fact of the matter is, when Kathy passed, I made a decision to break away from the norm and sell everything and hit the road as a nomad. That's not what this is about. It's not about me becoming a nomad. It's about the mistakes that I made early on in not paying attention to three areas: my emotional, my physical, and my spiritual well-being. And that cost me physical pain that I could have dealt with way sooner. All right, so emotionally, I've done just fine. I feel like I addressed that early on. Nate, my younger son, suggested I get some help. Why not, right? It's a big deal losing somebody you spent your life with, and so I did. I took 6 of those online help sessions from BetterHelp or whatever they're called. It's not a plug for them. No worries. And it was time well spent. It was money well spent. I think the therapist and I both equally benefited from the experience. She was relatively new, and I certainly had never had therapy before, but I think we walked away from that experience with her learning a lot about what a person like me is made of, and that I was in touch with myself, and that I understood where I was in life and what had to be done and what I was going to do, and was ready to execute on that. And she learned a lot from me, and I learned a lot from her. So we appreciate that experience. And I would say, talk to somebody. Maybe you got family, maybe you got friends, but somebody who isn't in your circle, doesn't know you, can get to know you, and if it's helpful for you, then doing it is important. Not doing it means you're not going to find out, right? Does that make sense? I did a short spurt of it, and I would go back if I felt like I needed somebody to talk to help me work through some of this. But I'm in a really good place right now. whole other stories. Where did I go wrong? I stopped exercising. Yes, that's where I went wrong. I was closing my circles religiously. If you don't know what that is, get an Apple Watch and figure it out. I was closing my circles religiously for years, walking the dogs. As soon as we got the dogs, walking the dogs 2 times a day. In Florida, in the summertime, I would do it at sunrise and after sunset because I couldn't handle the heat, but I was out there. I was walking. I was communicating with people, and I was enjoying life. I got this van, and if you don't know the story, you can find it. I was encouraged by Kathy before she passed to go ahead and pull the trigger and get ready for next life. I was out of the house sold, in the van, traveling 4 months to the day from when Kathy passed. That's not what this story is about. The story is about I quit exercising. Now, I had lost about 30 pounds during Kathy's hospice, and it was just stress and not eating well enough. And in the months after and into getting started with this journey, I lost another 30. So I'm down 60 pounds from my height. I'm at 170, 175. That's a weight that the charts tell me I should be at. I look like a prisoner of war who just was starved to death, but I feel good. And I felt good in losing the weight. The last 30 came off because I control everything that I eat now, right? But, this is the big but that I didn't catch early enough. Part of that weight loss was muscle mass because I was sitting on my ass behind the driver's seat, driving way too much, and not walking. Then I took a spill. Wasn't a serious spill. I just tipped over in the van. I was off kilter and I didn't catch myself quick enough, and I fell and I hit one of those handles on the Groove Lounge, and I hurt my leg, my hip. And push came to shove early on, and I went and I got an x-ray. No hip problems, no fractures, none of that. The supposition was I bruised my nerve. Somewhere down the line, I went to a chiropractor, I guess a couple of months in. Loretta, my sister, had been encouraging me to do that. So I did. I did 2 sessions with a guy, great guy, up in Reno, which I was using as a place to kind of have stuff sent and pick stuff up from Amazon and all that. And oh my God, he popped me from not being able to stand on this thing to 60% healed in 2 visits. And really in the first visit, whatever the problem was, he worked that leg, popped something back into place, and I immediately felt better. Excuse me. At any rate, so I thought, okay, good. Now I'll give it time to heal. Well, it lasted way too long, and I waited way too long for the next step. I could have done it 6 months earlier. The message is, first of all, don't stop exercising. As a matter of fact, you should probably do more because it'll give you more time to deal with that significant emotional event. I don't care what it was, okay? For me, it was losing the presence, the person, the human who I had spent my whole life with, Kathy. So don't stop moving. Second message, if you hurt yourself, and you will, okay? If you're getting older, if you're over 65, if you're pushing 70, if you're in your 70s, sooner or later you're going to hurt yourself, okay? You're going to fall. It just is what it is, okay? You get help that day. and you find the right help and you get what you need quickly. You can limp around like I did for 6 months, feeling sorry for yourself and going, oh, it's just going to get better. It's just going to get better. That's a bunch of bullshit, okay? It doesn't just get better, all right? Therapy doesn't exist because people are trying to make money, okay? Well, yeah, they're making money and that's their game. But if you find the right person, and here's the pitch, you talk to everybody you know, you talk to people you trust, and you get a referral for someone who can help you. You don't just go to your own doctor. If you need specialized help, you get it. It doesn't matter what it is. Mine was a leg issue. Yours could be something completely different. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you take action, you take it quickly. All right, so I didn't, then I finally did. A couple of months ago, during the holidays, when we were back in Florida, doing all the doctoring and vetting, the getting to the vet and the dogs to the vet and all that stuff, visiting everybody, I went because I went to get acupuncture from Dr. Annie. This is not a referral. I'm not even going to tell you who she is. That's not the point. The point is, I finally got a referral because all of my extended family there, my daughter-in-law and her sisters, all use this, and their mother uses Dr. Annie. And so I said, hey, it can't hurt. Oh my God. It wasn't just the acupuncture, it was the therapy that she put me on, stretching and exercise and acupuncture. I don't know. I did maybe six or 7 or 8 visits in the time that I was in Florida, and I'm telling you, it was transformational. But the reason it became transformational was I made a decision to follow my therapist's instructions. Now I'll change the sentence. I'm speaking directly to you. Follow your therapist's instructions. Yes. You don't do therapy while you're at therapy. You do it all the time. So I'm in week 4 of my 30 days getting myself into a habit, and it's working. Within 2 weeks, I was almost pain-free. That last 10%, I kept saying, I'm at 90, I'll get that last 10. No, I needed help to do that. I'll tell you what else we figured out. Annie figured out that it's not a nerve that I had a problem with. I damaged my tendon over here, and that the chiropractor popped that tendon back where it had to be. So I found out what the real issue was. I got a program together that is half Annie and half old people exercises. Yeah, old people, guilty, 73. I do wall push-ups. Stop laughing, okay? They work for old people. And I do leg lifts and squats, and I've got a whole, I'm not giving you that. You find it for yourself like I did. You find what works, and then you turn it into a habit. Every day, whatever time it takes. So my regimen now is stretching, strength building exercise, because I've moved from being incapacitated to being almost pain-free, so now I can walk also. So I've got stretching and strength building exercises, takes me about an hour. I'm walking a mile right now. I'll be back to 2 miles by the time I end the 30 days. I'm ready to add the second mile because I feel good. The dogs, oh my God, they're so happy that we're doing this. And I'm doing more than that. I'm keeping track of it. I have the date. I have reminders set on my phone to exercise and do my therapy and do my mile, to pray, to do other things, to feed the dogs. I use reminders like religion to make sure that I'm keeping on the schedule I've set for myself. And so, I don't know. I can't say it any more than I've already said. you'll go through a significant emotional event or you've been through one. When that happens, you address it immediately. From an emotional standpoint, go talk to somebody. I don't care if it's somebody you know or somebody you don't know. Maybe you get therapy, maybe you believe in it, maybe you don't. Talk to somebody about it. Make sure you are clear that from an independent individual who knows their shit, that you're on the right track mentally, emotionally. Spiritually, I can't speak to that, okay? I'm a Baha'i. I pray. I've got to pray more. It's on my schedule now. Thank you, Nate. That is going to continue to help from a spiritual standpoint. I'm pretty grounded there. So emotionally and spiritually, feeling really good. Physically, sooner or later, you're going to hurt yourself. It just happens. Don't stop exercising, because the more muscle you have, the quicker you're going to recover. I calculate I lost 6 pounds of lean muscle mass of the 30 pounds. That's a guess, okay? And I can't afford to lose that muscle. I need to build it back, and I'm building it back. I'm telling you, don't stop exercising. When you hurt yourself, then get the therapy you need and perform the therapy on a daily basis. Make it a religious experience for yourself. You are the only one responsible for what happens to you. Nobody else does it for you. All right? So take care of those 3 areas. Try not to hurt yourself. If you do, get the fix and get on it quickly and get over it, and then learn what to do so you don't injure yourself again. Okay? If you're over 65, you should be wearing a smartwatch. I prefer the Apple ecosystem. It doesn't matter, but you should be wearing a smartwatch. If you fall and can't get help, it's on you, because the technology's there and people's lives are being saved by wearing a smart watch that can call somebody if and when you fall. All right, listen, I hope this was helpful. I know I get to rambling. I am not an expert. I'm not giving you any more. Don't ask me for links. Don't ask me for my exercise routine. I'm not giving it to you. It's your job. You figure it out. Do what you got to do to make sure physically, emotionally, and spiritually you are strengthening those muscles. You're strengthening those muscles now, during, and after your significant emotional event. Take care. I love you. Uncle Orly, out.